the 6 tracks are?
So track 1, parenting. Track 2, early learning and care. Track 3, inclusion. Track 4, stream. And stream is science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and mathematics. You want to help me?
Track 5, arts for adults. Track 5, track 5 has 2 components. Part A, arts for adults, and B, arts for children. And track 6, leadership and advocacy. This year we kind of have a track 7, because early childhood commission do things the same every year. Them always have to do something different. I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't say Mrs. Williams Singh and Mrs. Deslandes, you can't help themselves. Every year they just have to do something different, They're not into the sameness. So this year there is what we consider track 7. There's the immunization intervention, and this is an interesting one, and I'm going to ask Stacey, just share with everybody, what is this focus, what is this intervention this year about this immunization intervention?
So we would have collaborated with UNICEF, Ministry of Health and Wellness, and of course with there too. And basically what we're doing is we want to tell the parents that, look here, if you didn't get the chance to immunize your children, come on down to PDI 2024 that is hosted by the Early Child Commission.
So of course, we're focusing everything surrounding our children. We're catering to all the needs. We're trying to meet all the needs of our children. Now, if you can tell me how many, now I hope you all are listening in. If you were here last year when we were emceeing, remember that the closing ceremony is a lot of questions about all you'll hear today, right throughout the week. So please make sure that you're taking your notes. Now, this year will make how many years of PDI? 5? When did we start? 2019, so 2019 to now is 5? Somebody tell me why that would be 5. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So how is it 5? We have to count 19. The first one happened in 19. But we missed one because of COVID. So we didn't do one. So this is our 5th year. You see? I'm an early childhood teacher anyway. I'm learning how to interrogate and to ask the questions the right way to ensure that there's thinking and learning happening. Awesome. So this is our 5th year. And again, in our country, of course, we always have some things that are trying to hold us back. And violence is one such. Right? And so, of course, over the years, we have had to put in some ZOSOs in some of the areas to help to curtail what was happening. And of course, interventions have been happening in these communities, and there's catering for the young people and the adults. And guess what? Early Child Development, the Early Childhood Commission decided that, guess what? This year, we're going to ensure that we cater for those children who are in those spaces. And how did these kinds of intervention impact our children? And so, guess what? This year, we have children at our Professional Development Institute. Can we put our hands together? Children who were affected by the ZOSOs in those communities, they're going to be here. And then, of course, we're going to have intervention strategies with them through the arts for the entire week. So then on Friday, I'm looking forward to hearing what the children have to say, because they were impacted too. Because they're talking about in their communities where we want children to be running up and down and just having free play, and they had to be contained, and they're seeing these things, and they're seeing soldiers, and what did that do for them? And so the Early Child Commission, of course, this year is doing an intervention. Let's find out how did it impact them, and then how we're going to treat with them going forward. And so we're looking we're looking forward to that this year and the interventions that will bring. Of course, this is early childhood learning, and so we do things a little differently. All right, so we want to take the opportunity to welcome those other countries who are here with us. Anybody here from the USA? Come, Jamaica people. Clap them good, clap them good, clap them good. Anybody here from Canada? Clap them good, clap them good. Anybody here from Argentina? Yeah. We're not going to have to say yeah. She have to leave and go back home with a little piece of language. She can't just go home so have a wonderful time. She have to say, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Anybody here from the Cayman Islands? Now, you see how Cayman wave them hand and go on nice and stush. No stush nothing about them, you know. Two Jamaican amongst them, so you know said them, but I know we wave.
Yeah.
Cayman, buddy here from Cayman Islands? Yes. Yeah, man, bring it out. Thank you so much for being here. So, of course, I'm going to ask everyone to give me a nice little rhythm. Take your time, take your time. Everybody, come on. Ride the rhythm, ride the rhythm, ride the rhythm. Join the line, join the line, join the line, join the line. Let me hear you. Come on. We not hear you, man.
Join the line. Join the line.
All right, so here we know. We are going to put some things in it. So we are going to do the team. Join the line, join the line. A child's right to quality education, now is the time. Say that with me. Join the line, join the line. A child's right to quality education, now is the time. Come. Join the line, join the line. A child's right to quality education, now is the... Come on, man. Join the line, join the line. A child's right to quality education. Let me hear you. Come on.
Join the line.
Come on, Mr. Chu.
Join the line.
A child's right to...
Quality education, now is
One
the
more time. Hey.
Join the line. Join the line.
A child's right to quality education.
Now is the time.
All right. Thank you so much. Now hear me now. So this is how we're going to welcome our guests. So you see when the Minister of State is coming up here, that is how we're going to join the line, and she's going to come right up. And she's going to join the line, and she's going to come up here and probably try to say it, and then she's going to her speech. Because we don't do things regular down at ECC. We don't do things regular.
No.
All right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be welcoming at this time none other than the effervescent chairman of the ECC, Mrs. Trisha Williams Singh, and she will bring greetings. No, so you go. I know them there. 1, 2, 3, and join the line. Join the line. A child's right to quality education. Now is the time. Come on, no.
Join the line. Join the line. A child right to quality education. Now is the time.
Chairman.
Join the line. Join the line. A child right to quality education.
Come on.
Now is the time. Join the line, hey. Join the line. A child's right to quality
education.
Now is the time, hey. Join the line.
If you follow chairman, we'll put on one of the verse management.
Thank you so much, Leighton and Stacey Ann. Let me say some. Early years is fun, you know. So drop the stiffness. Early years is? The curriculum is? Learn by? Play. So we catch you. Master of Sermon is Mr. Leighton Jones, Mrs. Stacey Ann Campbell Cargill, Honorable Marsha Smith, State Minister in the Ministry of Education and Youth. Not seen him as yet, I'm sure he will not disappoint. Our Executive Director, Mrs. Carlene Deslandes, Mr. Billy Heaven, my good friend from Chase Fund, and other members from Chase. I also see Mr. Owen Sweeney from JSIF, Jamaica Social Investment Fund, our Managing Director, also my good friend. Deputy Country Representative of UNICEF, Mr. Mohammed Mohindim, welcome, I'm getting there. Other members of UNICEF Jamaica. I see Mr. Leo Gillins, Chairman of Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. Other members of the Diaspora. Miss Anna Barrera from the Inter-American Institute for Children and Adolescents of the Organization of American States. We're large, you know, sorry. Forgive my excitement. Listen to this now. I have Miss Mercedes Lascelles. Jamaicans, help me on this one now. We have the pleasure and the honor. Our keynote speaker happened to be the world president of the World Organization for Early Childhood Education. Jamaica, you're large. I don't think you understand. Other partners, I also see my family from my parent ministry, which is the best ministry in Jamaica, which is the Ministry of Education and Youth. Yeah, man, clap them. The hardest working public sector department, unit in Jamaica, Team ECC. Parents, practitioners, participants from across the world, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning. Can you hear the voices of our children echoing for generations? We have rights, no more abuse. The Convention on the Rights of Child was born out of a need that children birth to 8 years throughout the world were not being adequately addressed. It was noted at the time for countries when they submitted their reports that information was limited. As a result, a special day of discussion on child's rights was decided to be held in 2004. Despite 20 years, we're still advocating for the rights of our children. At the Early Childhood Commission, we believe that we must get it right from start. Early childhood is a critical period of solidifying children's rights. It is the phase when young children experience the most rapid physical growth, brain development, and learning. It is the phase when young children form emotional bonds with their parents and caregivers, from whom all they seek is love, care, guidance, and protection. It is the period where the foundations are laid for the development of a child's executive functions, where they learn, manage their emotions, and build cultural and personal identity that will determine the adults they will become. As we assess where we are as a nation, we need to create and maintain spaces for all children to belong and bring to the forefront of our minds and hearts that children, they do have a right to quality early childhood education. The next 5 days will not merely be regular training, but instead 5 days of learning and introspection as we evaluate where we're currently doing within our spaces as stewards of the early childhood sector. And do ask ourselves, is this enough? When I walked in, I bragged that one area within education that I am always confident that the turnout is going to be huge. Guess where? Early years. Look at our practitioners. They're here. Clap them. We are in our 5th year, and the numbers only get bigger. What does that tell you? The interest is there. They do understand. But I'm asking you today, especially, in all that we do, is it enough? Transformation must start in this room, because leaving even one child behind is not an option. Think about it. You are, I am too, the steward of the early childhood sector. We will not fail the next generation. Welcome.
join the line. I just love that. Sorry, it just stuck in my head. And sorry. Oh, Mr. Layton, you did pardon us for using our vernacular, right? So if you see me just pull out in it, just bear with me. I want to thank Mrs. William Singh. She spoke on some main points. She said, we're still advocating for the rights of our... Yes, man. And children have the right to what? No man talk nice to me, no man. Children have the right to what? Quality education. And one thing that is stuck to my head, and it forever remain there, is no child should be left behind. None of them should be left behind. So those are the ones that you see maybe withdrawn and maybe not talking to you as much. You need to pull them one side, right? And let's talk about, what do you think we'll talk about? That little thing when you pull them one side and you just put them one side and deal with them a little, what is it? What? 1-to-1. All right, so thank you very much, Mrs. William Singh. And we're going to continue on this. So we would like to say a big thank you to our main sponsors. Culture, health, arts, sports and education. What is that? Chase, Jamaica Social Investment Fund, and UNICEF. Thanks to you all. Without you, this day would not, or this week would not be possible. So I wonder if Mr. Billy Heaven ready for join the line. Join the line, join the line. Come on, join the line. Let me see if I can get my paper. Join the line, join the line, join the line, join the line. Child's right to quality education. Now is the time. Join the line, join the line. A child right to quality education. Now is the time. Billy, join the line. Mr. Heaven, join the line. To quality education. Now is the time. Come on, join the. Hey, join the line of right to quality education. Now is it? Join the line. Join the line. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Master of Ceremonies, forgive me, but I'm not going to read the protocol list again. I'll just observe the protocols already established by the chairman. The truth is, it's almost as long as the presentation that I have. So I'll just get into the presentation and the meat of the matter. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, advocates for early childhood education in Jamaica, good morning. I am once again pleased to be able to address this conference, which focuses this year fundamentally on aspects of human development, a child's right to quality early childhood education. You are in your 5th year, and Chase has been with you for 4 years. And in the first year, you had our blessings. In a world where opportunities are not evenly distributed, where disparities persist, investing in early years of a child's life is not just a matter of policy and practice. It's a matter of morality and justice. And you're free to clap when I tell you the numbers that we have contributed to this conference. You'll understand how serious we are about early childhood education. Early childhood education isn't merely about learning, as your practitioners would know. It's a learning environment. It's not a teaching environment. But it's about laying the very foundation upon which a child's future is built. It's about nurturing their curiosity, fostering their creativity, and instilling in them a love for learning that will accompany them throughout their lives. It's more than leveling the playfield, or the playing field as we say, ensuring that every child, regardless of their background and circumstances, has a chance to succeed. The overall development of early childhood development is a fundamental part of our mandate of the Chase Fund. We focus on infrastructure development, training, nutrition, development of resources, and in recent times, since COVID perhaps, and technology enhancement. And since inception, we have provided just under $7 billion to the early childhood sector in Jamaica. The ECC is a fundamental partner. It's a big partner, a significant partner for us, as a matter of fact. And to date, we have provided just under $500 million to the Early Childhood Commission. This conference, the PDI conference, we have provided to date $40 million to support the gathering here. And I don't want you to believe it's because of my good looks why I'm here. It's because of our sponsorship. We have provided support for this conference because we believe in what this conference does for the sector. As a financial institution, we pay close attention to the rate of return on our investments. And we know that there's a guaranteed high rate of return on our investments in early childhood education. This high rate of return is not only for the child, but for the society. For the child, it gives that child the best start in life. It provides the foundation for future learning, for behavior, and of course, good health. The benefits to the society are equally significant and great. There's a reduction in social inequality. There's increased productivity. And if you extend that production, if you may, there's significantly the reduction in crime. And I know politicians are interested in this. They'll pay more taxes. And I see past politicians and present politicians here. And there's a promotion of peace. And we do need that. So this is a great area for intervention for us at the Chase Fund. But we recognize as well that this outcome depends on partnerships with a broad range of stakeholders, including the ECC, my good friend Joseph Omar from JSIF, UNICEF, and all others who play significant roles in the early childhood development sector. As we envisage a future that is more just, equitable, and prosperous for all, we must recognize that quality early childhood education is not just a luxury reserved for the privileged few or the critical few, not even the useful many. It is a fundamental human right that must be guaranteed to every child. It is incumbent on all of us here present, as policymakers, as educators, as parents and advocates, to work to ensure that every child has access to high-quality early childhood education, access including affordability. Let us therefore commit ourselves to the cause of ensuring that every child, regardless of their circumstances, has the opportunity to reach his or her full potential. Let us strive to build a world where every child's right to quality early childhood education is secured. On behalf of the Chase Fund, the board, the management, and the staff, and I take the time out to recognize our project manager, Latoya. And I recognize Latoya there because when you make the calls, it won't reach to me. It will reach to Latoya. So I introduce Latoya as our project manager. But we at the fund, we are committed to working with the sector. We are committed to working with the ECC. We look forward to the partnership, the continuing of the partnership and the work so that we can further develop an early childhood sector that we can all be proud of. Let me, on behalf of the fund, wish all participants a productive and enlightening PDI conference. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Heaven. And it is sometimes we have to thank them for context, because we could just say thanks. I'm just happy that the Chase Fund decided to support us. When we understand some figures and context, the thanks means something different. Because when you hear $500 million contributed to the ECC the thanks have one different context. And when you hear $40 million to make this training, this PDI a possibility, the thanks takes a different context. When we hear a sponsor saying that they are joining, ensuring that the foundation is properly laid for our children's future, then the thanks takes a different context. Thank you so much, Mr. Heaven, the Chase Fund project manager, and the team from the Chase Fund for supporting the Early Childhood Commission. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be hearing from the JSIF Managing Director, Mr. Omar Sweeney, and he's going to be at this time bringing his greeting. But we have, and also we clap him. Join the line, join the line, join the line, join the line. Come on.
Join the line, join the line.
A child.
Right, early education now is the time.
Come on, join the
line, join the line. Hey, join the line, join the line. A child, right, call it education now is the time.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, sir. A lot of energy in the room this morning. And it's a good day to have a lot of energy. You know, my good friend Billy Heaven is a man known for cricket. And the opening pair of batsmen normally follow a certain protocol. And so I do want to say, yes, to observe the protocol established, but I must recognize our Minister of State from the Ministry of Education and Youth, as well as the former Minister of Education and our representative here from UNICEF and other distinguished members at the table. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, good morning, let me say that. And early childhood education is such a special place in the institution at the Jamaica Social Investment Fund. And we believe certainly that education as a whole of primary and early childhood education is fundamental to our development issues here in Jamaica. And as such, more than 40% of our budget every single year for the last 27 years is dedicated to early childhood and primary education. I'm an engineer, not an accountant like my colleague, and so I couldn't give you the numbers the way he gives them to you. I can tell you we've built more than 300 institutions. It goes without saying that when the ECC approached us to sponsor this event, that our support it was almost mandatory that we had to fund this event. I'm glad to see, and I want to congratulate the ECC on what has happened in the 5 years. I want to congratulate all of you here for really coming out, and I know there are still some outside, and really becoming a part of this important thing. It's always been our dream, certainly for the institutions we have supported, to bring everybody together. You know, because beyond the, if you want to say, beyond the brick and mortar, the curriculum development, the capacity, the training, the overall environment, and I love the term, I never quite understood or heard it before, that it's not a teaching environment, it's a learning environment. I love that term because it is so important about what we're doing today. So I also wanted to make a note as the Deputy Chairman of the Zones of Special Operations that the intervention that was mentioned earlier with the children, please let us have the information on that because we like to collate and recognize and support interventions in the zones of special operations. So anywhere that can be recorded, we certainly will do that. Partnership is also important to success. While, if you would say, there are 3 partners recognized here, I also recognize that NGOs, other government entities, international organizations continue to partner to build our early childhood sector. And we want to encourage that. We believe it is a big part of what is necessary to continue to focus on the youth and the development of the youth at this early stage of their development. So in closing, I would say congratulations. I really applaud this effort. I really applaud your participation in being here. And in any which way we can support, we are here. And finally, I don't have anybody to point out, so I'll point out myself. I'll take the calls. If you need it, I'll take the calls. I'm not going to give you my number publicly, but I'll take the calls. And we will respond. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So, whilst I listened to Mr. Sweeney, you know what came to my mind? That I am so special because I'm a part of the early childhood sector. So if you feel that you are special, or I love to use special, I want you to stand on your feet today. Come on, stand on your feet today. Yeah, that's right. We need to be moving, right? And then there's a little gem or a little song that we love to sing at school or children. Who can tell me what that song is? Come on, ready? All right, after 2, 1, 2. Let me hear you. All right, stop. No, if you're special, you're going to sing it like you're special, right? No, I am special. No. Mr. Layton, I need it up here, please. We need to sing it with vig, vita, and vitality. I say go, don't it? So, Mrs. Trisha saying, can I come up here for me, please? Yo, come on up. I need some special people up here this morning with me. Come on up. So we're going to sing I Am Special, but we need to do it with a little bit of vibes and a little bit of energy, right, Mr. Layton? Okay. All right. All right, ready to go after 2? 1, 2. Yes. I am special. Come on. Come on, look at me. A very special. Come on. Look at.
Identify yourself.
I am special. I am special. Look at us, early childhood. Early childhood. Come on.
Very, very special.
Look at
me.
Come on, look at
me.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are special. We are early childhood development, educators, right? And we have to bring that energy to the room. We have to bring that vitality because that's what we tell our children every day. We need to be special. We need to carry the vibes, and we need it to be going on in class, and we're going ourselves. All right, so, you know, Mr. Sweeney mentioned something about building early childhood sector. And I'm going to plan money it take. Oh, let me speak properly. It's not a little bit of money it take? For build, yes, I have to speak for everyone. It's not a little bit of money it takes to build early child sector. But then he mentioned something about calling him. Who heard that? We are all testaments of that. He said, call him. So you see the millions and the billions we're going to talk to it. I like when you say clap on yourself when I go on the things. All right. So I'm going to introduce our next speaker for the morning. I speak of none other person than Mr. Mohammed Mohideen. So the regular thing, ready? Join the line. Come on, join the line. Join the run. A child right to quality education. Now is the time. Join. Imala clapping now. Join the line. A child right to quality education. Now is the time. Join the line. Go on, sing, man. UNICEF. Join the line. Come on. Join. Hey. Join the line. Hey. Join the. Hey. Join. Come on. Join the line. Hey. Pop.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. moderators, Honorable Marsha Smith, Minister of State, Ministry of Education and Youth, Mr. Damian Crawford, Opposition Spokesperson on Education, Mercedes Maul LaSalle, World President, World Organization for Early Childhood Education, Mrs. Trisha Williams Singh, Chairman, ECC, Mrs. Carlene DeGrasse Deslendes, Executive Director, ECC, Mr. Wilford Billy Haben, CU Chase Fund, Mr. Omar Swaini, CD, Managing Director, SIF, Dr. Maria Julia Garcet Yegros, General Director of Inter-American Institute for Children and Adolescents of the Organization of American States. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, partners in education, members of the civil society organizations, and my beloved children, very good morning. UNICEF's commitment to child rights is central to its global mission. And this is the reason we wholeheartedly support your focus for this PDI. We agree that children have a right to a quality education which enables them to reach their full potential. This year marks the 35th anniversary of the Convention of the Rights of the Child, CRC, to which the government of Jamaica is a signatory. The convention guarantees equal rights and opportunities for all children, regardless of race, nationality, gender, or their socioeconomic status. Your week-long institute is fitting as we recognize this pivotal milestone. UNICEF is pleased to be a part of the team that is helping to ensure that every child's rights are upheld. Through advocacy, technical assistance, policy development, and direct interventions, UNICEF has championed the rights of Jamaican children, focusing on areas such as education, healthcare, protection from violence, and access to social benefits, as well as clean water and sanitation. This week, one of the issues to be highlighted will be improving access to quality health for Jamaica's youngest children. In the most up-to-date statistics that we have now in the country is 2022 Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey, also known as MIX, which has been done in this country. Last one was in 2011. So that is the latest evidence we have across the sectors of the social development. That shows that although Jamaica continues to see high levels of vaccination in the first year of life, that level falls in subsequent years. This is based on the observation of vaccination records and mother's report. All children between 12 and 23 months have been vaccinated against tuberculosis, and approximately 89% of children between 12 to 29 months have received the basic antigens in line with Jamaica's immunization schedule. However, for 2 to 3 years olds, only 55%, I repeat, only 55% received all recommended vaccines when the national target is 90%. I repeat, the status is 55% against the government's target of 90%. To help closing this gap, UNICEF is supporting the ECC and the Ministry of Health and Wellness to promote greater awareness and understanding among parents, teachers, and the community that the early childhood period is critical for the holistic, healthy, and safe development of every child, especially having regard to their right to immunization. No child should be left behind in being fully immunized. UNICEF will be supporting decision makers and the policymakers and the leadership of the country to ensure greater access to immunization, nutrition, and mental health through play, underscoring our joint commitment to safe, child-centered schools, positive parenting, and healthy young children. Additionally, we will be launching a public awareness campaign, which includes the appointment of immunization ambassadors from among parents, teachers, principals, and other community leaders. A series of follow-up overall healthy child workshops, building on ECC's school community partnerships, will also be staged this summer, as the focus continues to be on immunization, nutrition, and play. These will target the training of ECC field staff as a master trainers as part of the annual in-service training efforts. As you engage with each other and exchange ideas this week, thank you for your participation and for the tremendous work you do every day to ensure that all Jamaican children get the right start, right from the start. On behalf of UNICEF, I wish all of you a wild and productive and inspiring week. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moidin. I wonder if Mr. Moidin have the right rhythm. I wonder if you see that it looked like Mr. Moidin had some bananas and some saltfish this morning with 2 pieces of yellow yam. Because Mr. Moidin had the right rhythm. At one point, hear me, Lord, I got tired. No one can talk when he's done. But we want to thank the UNICEF for creating the protective environment for children, and that's one of their aims. And they believe that no child should be exposed to violence, abuse, or exploitation. And of course, you know, they are the conveners of the convention, and they uphold that convention for the rights of children. We thank the UNICEF for partnering with us, the ECC, for ensuring that our children learn and they can grow in a safe environment. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for the UNICEF. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be inviting the chairman for the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. That's Mr. Lear Gillen, and he will now bring greetings. Join the line. A child's right to quality education. Now is the time. Come on now. A child's right to quality education. Now is the away. Join the line. Join the line. A child's right. Pull up. We have to stop right here. So that one they can't go no further. All right, that's for later. Later when we have the yeah.
I just don't tell them so I can't dance. You know, so. Good morning, everybody. You know, I sat down and I wrote a nice speech, right? And I said, I'm going to deliver this. It's on infodemics. And what is that? It's a pandemic of information that's out there that you need to protect your kids from. There's a lot of false information going around. And so they came up with this word, infodemic, infopandemic, information pandemic. And so I decided that I'm not going to spend no time on that this morning because we hear a lot of things, why it is that your students should be okay for the future, 20 years down the line, I think. But I think I'm here to more or less give you an update as to who I am, why I do what I am, what I do, and the organization that I represent. And I think that will get you the direct dial-in to me. All right? Somebody save you a little bit. Because somebody leaked your heart a while ago. All right, so I'm Leo Gilling, I started an organization back in 2013 as a recommendation coming out of the Jamaica Diaspora biennial conference. I think it's coming up next month. It's called Jamaica Diaspora Education Task Force. And what that was, when I first initiated, we know that a lot of people were accustomed to bringing school books and school bags and so forth, and ship them to Jamaica, and then, you know, the children get them and so forth. But the idea that I had was, because so many of us had left Jamaica, and many of us are in education, I figure, why not get gather all of those people together, all of those educators who left Jamaica, still have the passion, still have the heart, put them together and say, bring them back to Jamaica and help you, the teachers. Because without you, the practitioners, the students then don't learn. So what we do from a diaspora perspective, filling gaps, is to provide the professional development, the pedagogy in training, the training for you, so that you can fill the gaps where you are, where it's needed with your children. So hence, in 2019, we were able to gather more than 2,000 people in the diaspora across 20 countries. And they're all educators. By 2021, we had 3,500 educators across 47 countries, all willing to give back to Jamaica. So we use that. Every month we have a jaminar, what you call a webinar, where we extend ourselves and ask some of those people to give a workshop here or give a workshop there on whatever it is that you need. So we ask you what you need, and then we fill that gap. That has turned out into something bigger than we even expected, because in 2019, we started using the Zoom as a learning tool for the teachers. And then 2020 struck, and nobody knew how to go online to use Zoom. So we developed a strategy to teach you, the teachers in Jamaica, how to use Zoom. And it worked. Because in 2021, the ECC called us and said, we need you, because we need our PDI to continue, because we couldn't do it in 2020. So we joined forces with the ECC, provide the platform so that they could do 7 streams online, where we had 90 different workshops going out for the week. And you know, by the end of the week, we had close to 500,000 views in 2021. That's the amount of people that joined those sessions. In 2022, we had 250,000 people join the session with the same 7 streams. And so this is what the JD TAN does. It looks for gaps, because we now come here for come say we want to take over the country. We have fluid problems in America. But wherever we see the gaps and we have the resources that we can fill, that's where we come in. And so I'm very, very happy. This year is our 9th year in inviting teachers from Jamaica to join us in Florida at the end of this month, 5 days, 4 days of workshops, presentations, panel discussions, and tour to schools and colleges, and even to a hospital. And we have 160 teachers coming up from Jamaica to come and join us to share their experiences, and we share ours with them. And this is our 9th year. And it gives me a lot of pleasure to know that we have come this far. And I remember the first day that I called up the Minister of Education in 2013, and he never answered. and put me through to his assistant, that gentleman right there, so. And we had to go through his assistant probably 15 times before we got to him. But he joined forces with us, and he provided the platform for us to come to Jamaica and meet with 1,000 teachers. And so that was very good. And so here we are. We're on the University of Miami this year, hosting 200 educators from across three different countries. And we are very, very happy, and we hope one of these days you will be able to join us. I think Caroline and Nicole came up last year, and we are hoping to have more of you this year. Thank you so much for having me, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo Gillen. So, Mr. Gillen, are your iPhone this? You can let it stay with me, and you don't have to come back for it. All right, so, you know, I heard you mention about joining forces with who? Oh, God. So I heard him mention join forces with who? Wanna say it no, man? Madam Edie? Yeah. Join forces with who? ECC. Yeah, man, we are a big deal. JD Tan, you a big deal. Yeah. All right, my big myself. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful presentation. Now, you know, I saw somebody coming in just now looking so beautiful and ravishing. And I want her to stand. I'm going to call her name. And for persons who don't know her, today you're going to know her. I speak of none other person than the permanent secretary, Dr. Casson Troop. Clap her, man. Look how she look good. Dr. Casson Troop. You can beg her wear a necklace. So Dr. Casson Troop, you're just coming in, right? And we have a vibe going in the room. It called what? Join the line. So Dr. Troop, I'm going to put you on the spot. All right, so whatever rhythm you hear, I want to see a bust a move, because you're going to do what? Because you're going to do what? Join the line. Yes, man. So Cassan Troop, where are my rhythmers? Are you ready? Join the line. Join the line. Hey. Join the line. Hey. Join the line. Hey. Join the line. Join the line. A child rots the education. Now is the time. Hey. Join the. Come on. Join the. Hey. Hold on. Money pull up. Pull it up!
Pull up.
I'm on it, pull up that, don't it? Dr. Casson Troop.
Lead by example.
No. What are you saying? So with all that performance, we need it up here, please. Come on, up here. Step her up. Mr. Layton, what I forgot join her? Step 2. So everyone, we can't be sitting down and join Dr. Cassan Troop. We have to turn up and we feed them. And we do the rock away? Yeah. All right. Yes, man, we want to see it live and in living colors. All right. So ready? Join the line. Join the line. Come on. So now stand up on the airport. Join the line. Hey, join the line. Join the line, a child rots the quality education, now is the time. Hey, join the line, hey, join the line, hey, join the line, hey, join the line, hey.
Yeah, got it. Sure.
Pull up. The place hot. Pull it up. I feel like I'm in church. Look here, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Me, I wonder if our husband better than her. They say a man shall lead by what? Now, come on up, man. Yeah, we want to. All right, stand up where you are, yeah, Mr. Troop. Talk truth. Come on, join the line. Join the line. Come on, join the line. Join the line. A child radical to education. Now is the time. Hey, join the line. Hey, join. Hey, clap him. They say a man shall lead. And he did let just now. Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Troop. You see the excitement are going on, I'm going to make up a sweat off. I'm going to want it sweat off. But guess what? Early childhood can't do nothing normal. We're extraordinary. We are the Early Childhood Commission, led by our beautiful chairman and the education, executive director. Now, thank you very much, Mr. Leah Gillen. Now we're going to have a virtual greeting from the Secretary of the General Director of American Institute of Children and Adolescents of the Organization of American States, Miss Anna Barare. Hope I'm pronouncing it properly. And she will be on screen, so if you look straight ahead, she'll be making her presentation right now. Please make her welcome.
Un gusto saludarles desde el Instituto Interamericano del Niño, Niña y Adolescentes de la Organización de Estados Americanos. Nos honra mucho ser parte de este encuentro. Un gusto saludarles desde el Instituto Interamericano del Niño, Niña y Adolescentes de la Organización de Estados Americanos. Nos honra mucho ser parte de este encuentro. Como organismo especializado en temas de derechos de los niños, niñas y adolescentes de nuestra región, venimos apoyando a los estados en los procesos de instalación de políticas públicas para una mejor protección y promoción de los derechos. El tema que nos convoca hoy, un lugar para pertenecer, el derecho de niños y niñas a una educación de calidad en la primera infancia, es un tema con muchas dimensiones que son necesarias de profundizar, por lo que estos 5 días de presentaciones e intercambio serán con toda certeza muy productivos. Desde el primer momento que llegamos a la vida, es sumamente importante pertenecer a una familia, a un lugar, a una comunidad, a una nación, porque como humanos esto nos da identidad y arraigo. El cuidado y educación de calidad para la primera infancia es un compromiso de todas y todos. El Estado, las organizaciones comunitarias, las organizaciones sociales y las familias deben estar comprometidas para esta educación. Cada vez más las evidencias científicas nos aportan elementos que dan la pauta para que podamos generar mejores condiciones a este desarrollo de los niños y niñas. En este sentido, la participación desde los primeros años es lo que el Instituto Interamericano viene fortaleciendo desde diferentes intervenciones que acompañamos junto a los estados, aliados de la sociedad civil y también las instancias académicas. En tal sentido, llegar al territorio, a las familias y a las comunidades con la puesta en valor de la infancia como sujetos, como personas que se están desarrollando, supone construir un sentido de ciudadanía desde esos primeros años. Ellos son portadores de nuevas visiones, de esperanza y sobre todo en un desarrollo más solidario, justo y humano. Esto precisa de nosotros una calidad en los cuidados y en la educación que se debe ver en una infraestructura de buenas condiciones, en cuidadoras y educadoras capacitadas, disponibles al contacto, a la interacción con ellos y generar estos cantos, juegos, narrativas, que lleven a realmente el niño pueda explorar su entorno y vincularse con la naturaleza y con sus pares a través de un apego seguro y con mucha confianza, de modo a superar factores de riesgo que pueden estar en la base de su llegada al mundo. En este sentido, poder ayudar a que ese potencial florezca. Es para nosotros muy valioso el que se pueda concretar este tipo de encuentros y así que les anhelo de todo corazón el mejor de los éxitos para estos días de intercambio. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much, Miss Anna Barrera, for your contribution to the Early Childhood Commission's PDI 2024. We look forward to your continued support as we work together across nations for the same aim, creating positive impact on our children and their potential, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're about excellence. And in Jamaica, we have our Festival of the Performing Arts, our Festival of the Performing Arts Dance National Finals, music, drama, speech, all the areas. And of course, today we are going to be seeing a multi-award winning school, a school that this year won themselves 2 gold medals in speech, 5 gold medals in music, 2 gold medals in dance. And one of the dance items we're going to be seeing today received the National Award for the Class 1 Movement and Music category. And we're talking about Class 1, children between the ages 3 and 6 years old. So ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's welcome the multi-award winning St. Aloysius Primary School. Clapping them, keep clapping them, keep clapping them.
to kick off my red boot now because me, I got giant the line and go on to them bend down and thing there. But I have the next person coming up, so I want her to come and help me. So I speak of another person at the State Minister and the Ministry of Education and Youth, the Honorable Marsha Smith. Please make her welcome. Let me see. Yeah, giant the line, 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 giant the line. A child radical to education. Now is the time. Hey, giant the line. Hey, and that's you got dance to do. Hold on.
Good morning, all. I'm good. So, I'm going to make a confession. No, me not dance. I got permission to use the vernacular, so from time to time.
Red boot.
Put on back your red boot. From time to time, I will use it, and this is one of those times. Dancing ain't my strong point. My strong point is singing. And I was so impressed by the song that we did about being special that it brought me back to my early childhood years. And I remember sitting in that classroom, and one of the things I remembered was those communal songs that we used to do with our nursery rhymes and even with learning your ABC. And I enjoyed that part of my education. So, before I go into this long list of persons to greet, we're going to do a team building song, and I'm going to lead it for you. We are special, we are special, look at us, look at us. We're very, very special, we're very, very special, look at us. So that was the dry run, right? Because I only heard my voice, right? So the next time around, I want to hear everybody singing because we are here gathered in this moment in time because we are special. That's right. What we do is so important for our families, our communities, our country, and our world. And that makes us very special. So, let's go again. We are special, we are special. Look at us, look at us. We're very, very special. We're very, very special. Look at us, look at us. Because I am sure at some point in this week, when we have those children gathered and we try to affirm their importance, we are going to probably put them in a circle and remind each one of those children that they matter and that they are special to their families, they are special to their community, and they are special to their country. So one last time, we are special, we are special. Look at us, look at us. We're very, very special. We're very, very special. Look at us. Look at us. Okay. Thank you. You did very well, choir. In another life, I used to be in charge of a youth choir, so it is very good to see that I can still remember how to lead a choir. Our moderators, Mr. Leighton Jones, and Miss Stacy and Campbell Cargill. Remember, no dancing for me, just the singing. Thank you for keeping the vibes up. But I just want to acknowledge some very special persons here in the room who have made this meeting, series of meetings possible. Miss Tricia Williams-Singh, our chairman of the Early Childhood Commission, Mr. Wilford Billy Heaven of the Chase Fund, Mr. Omar Sweeney of JSIF, you know, he said you can't call him. And I'm sure his phone will be ringing off the hook, because lots of schools require infrastructure improvement in order to get that full certification. Am I not right, Mrs. Sanders? Yes. Yes, you're going to get that call. Mr. Mohammed Muhyiddin, the Deputy Country Representative of UNICEF, Mr. Leo Gillin, the Chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. And sir, we wish you all the best in your series of meetings, your summit that is scheduled to start on the 28th of May. And I know that persons on the ministry, including our minister, they're all scheduled to participate, because as you say, it's about not trying to run the country from afar, but filling the gaps with the expertise that you have learned from other stakeholders who have examined education in different ways. So all the best for that summit as you seek to advance through education. The General Director of the Inter-American Institute for Children and Adolescents of the Organization of American States, who has joined us virtually, Dr. Maria Julia Garcete Yegros. I acknowledge the opposition spokesperson on education, Mr. Damian Crawford, because I know that this week of activities is not going to end today, and so he may have an opportunity to come and speak with us gathered here. But I want to especially acknowledge our former Minister of Education, Mr. Ronald Thwaites. Mr. Thwaites, please stand. I will give you a You are an important part of the journey that the ECC has had, and we duly acknowledge you, sir. Dr. Cassandra Troop is our permanent secretary. You saw she can dance? I need to go get some lessons from her. You know, thank you so much for your leadership in the Ministry of Education and Youth. I know nobody has mentioned you, but I'm going to mention Archbishop Kenneth Richards. You're here. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence. Now, from the fact that I taught you all, or should I say, I continued the theme song of everyone being special, you know by now that I am very happy to be participating in today's opening ceremony of the Early Childhood Commission's Professional Development Institution. My journey and your journey in education started when we were all young. And the influences and the instruction that we received at that age has helped to determine how we view learning as a lifelong pursuit. And it laid the foundations of who we are today. I remember sitting in my classroom. You're going to hear me talk about my classroom because I really loved school. So I was probably called a nerd, but I really loved school, and I really loved my teachers, and I loved being instructed, and I loved playing. And that love started at the Brownstown Basic School, right? And so a lot of times we do not remember to say thank you to our teachers at that level. But I'm saying thank you today because of the wonderful world that you exposed me to and for creating that environment of learning through play. Now, early childhood is pillar 2 of the TREND project that is currently ongoing at the Ministry of Education and Youth. And TREND is just a simple way of remembering that what we want to do is to transform education for national development. And there is no way that that transformation can take place without there being a targeted focus on early childhood education. Right? Round of applause for the work being done at that stage in education. We have conducted an institutional review of the Early Childhood Commission, and we have also reviewed the laws guiding the sector. Additionally, measures have been implemented to improve the quality of pre-service and in-service teachers at the early childhood level. We have also reviewed the curriculum, including STREAM, boys' education, and climate change. And I pause here. I am hopeful that as we go along, that we're going to see some of our male students performing, because a couple of us commented, where are the boys? Because we need to ensure that in the early childhood level of instruction, that we do not forget our boys. Quality early childhood education is at the cornerstone of a fair and just society. And when Mr. Heaven was speaking and he was giving his greetings, he told us that it's so important at that level because it helps to ensure peace in the land. You know, when we can truly, in those settings, teach simple skills as to conflict resolution in simple ways that can retard the growth of violence generally among our people. So these formative years, they lay that groundwork for lifelong learning, professional development, and future successes. As educators and stakeholders, we are responsible for ensuring that each child feels a genuine sense of belonging within a supportive, stimulating, and educational atmosphere. I want to commend the Early Childhood Commission for its dedication to advancing early childhood education in Jamaica through professional growth. Your efforts to enhance the skills and knowledge of our educators. It is through your dedication and innovation that we can continually improve the quality of education for our youngest learners. To our educators today, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude for your hard work, your influence in shaping the minds, my mind, and the characters of our children is immeasurable. You know, when I sat in my CXC art exams, and I remembered where it started on a small table in my basic school where I had paper and crayons, and I started to draw. No one would have known that from that simple task of learning to use pen and paper, color, and the development of my motor skills with the use of writing instruments, that laid the foundation 10 years later when I sat in my CXC art exams to create something. Don't you agree? Yes. So I can see from my own life the importance of what I learned at that age. So as we go through this meeting, let us remember that when we help a child to feel valued and supported and motivated, giving them the tools to realize their full potentials, we truly build a strong nation. In other words, as the week's activities unfold, let us keep the theme in mind: a place to belong, a child's right to quality early childhood education. I want to thank you all for listening to me, and before I take my seat, I'm going to go to my seat with the sounds of you all singing. We are special, we are special, look at us, look at us. We're very, very special, we're very, very special, look at us.
Thank you so much. We thank you so much, Minister of State Marsha Smith, for your words. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't exist on our own. We're a wonderful entity, the ECC. But guess what? In our lives, we can't. Sometimes we think we can and survive and make it through on our own, but we can't. We always need support. We need a sibling, or for those of us who are only children, we need friends, we need parents. So we always need someone with us, encourage us through, to support us in one way or the other. And we have just listened to the representative from our parent ministry who supports us in every way possible. Thank you so much, Minister. And we continue on to another multiple award winning institution. This school has won this particular year 6 gold medals in dance. 5 of those 6 received national awards. And let me just qualify that. So we have parish finals, and you get a gold, a silver, a bronze in your parish final. And if you have amassed the highest score in your gold medal in your class and category, you come to the national finals to compete against the other parishes. So when you get to the national finals, it means that in your parish you have the highest scoring gold medal. And so all of those items in that class and category compete for the highest score nationally. So when we say a national award, it means that they have amassed the highest score across the entire island in their class and category. So of 6 gold medals in dance, they received 5 national awards. And they are multiple award winners in music, dance, and speech. Ladies and gentlemen, with a dance entitled Chick A Do, let's welcome on stage a class 2 students with their national award winning presentation out of Lamans Preparatory School.
Morning. The chicken start from 7 p.m.
The joy I feel inside is for real.
together for Lamans Preparatory School. What the dance name? Chickadoo. What did you notice? You see vocabulary from the representing the chicken. You see movement for the chicken. You see. Come, let me see some of the movements you saw. I saw it teaching. Oh, I saw it. Sir.
Oh, my apologies, my apologies.
Oh. Okay. Me did I try work it out in my head, you know. That's how we teach. And the children, I can just imagine that class. We're talking about animals. And then we're talking about the chickens. And you say, what are the movements you see from the chicken? What are some of them you saw in the dance? Let me see some of the movements. Come on, come on. You saw the head going like this? Don't it? Every chicken around the world do that, don't it? Unless their neck in a splint. Every chicken around the world. So that's something that we all can identify with. What else we saw? What else? You saw the flapping of the... What else? Hey, Mrs. My chicken, them fly like them ear Jamaica, you know? And all of that is possible and wonderful. We're talking about that is how we use the arts to ensure that the learning takes place. And we always say, in some instances, some people say, you know, the teacher not teach. But I not teach, we not teach. The fact of the matter is the teacher pulls out of the students. We teach from experience, and that's the best way to do it. The students and their experiences, they all see one fowl somewhere. Chicken. They also want chicken somewhere, and you use their experiences to ensure that teaching takes place. Because guess what? When even at university, I don't like read. Me confess, I don't like to read. But I did very well in the discussions. You know what I did? If you take up my books from Michael or from UTech, you will see I will write down on the top, in the top corner, what the teacher wore. I'll remember that Mr. Troop wore a gray jacket with a gray tie. And then I'll remember that Mr. Billy Heaven said $40 million 2024. So you see, if I can remember those things, I remember the discussion that took place. And I remember when he went on the board and he did this long math question, and I might not remember how to do it by myself like that. But if I remember that my friend had responded and said this particular thing, and the teacher said, no, sir, that's wrong. Those are the things that I use to help me when I go into my... So that was my strategy. I just had to find a way, because if I take up the book and read, me need to go make it. So I found a way to do the association, and that helped me. So we just want to make sure that we are doing all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to be having the introduction of the keynote speaker. Now, this lady, I get to say something, I think, the first in a public space. We're going to be inviting the executive director of the Early Childhood Commission. And she caused me to be here. So she have to make sure say she dance and she join the line. So because she knows that me I go call her for dance and join the line, she take off her high heel boot. And she put on her sneakers so she can chick. And she can join the... All right. At this time, I get to say this for the very first time, I think in a public space. Help me welcome the Executive Director of the Early Childhood Commission, Dr. Carleen DeGrasse Deslandes. Join the line. Join the line. Join the line. Join the... A child's right to quality education. Now is the time. What I say? Join the... Join the line. Join the line. Join the line. Whoa! Join the line. Join the line. A child's right to quality education. Now is it? She explained why she needed to. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. Yes, miss.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not very tall. Okay. Good morning, everyone. No, sir. Nope. No, go so. Okay. Let me say this first before I say good morning again. I must tell you that Mr. Sweeney did answer my call. I don't know if I'm going to answer a phone call, though. But when he said he didn't have anybody, so he'll be taking the calls, yeah, he took my call. So thank you, Mr. Sweeney, for taking the call. Mr. Heaven, you always take a call. You always take a call. So let's start again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right. I can now start. Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Leighton Jones, Vice Principal, Administration and Resource Development, Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts, Mrs. Stacey Ann Campbell Cargill, or Early Childhood Development Officer from Region 6, the Honorable Minister, Marsha Smith. Thank you, State Minister, for coming. We really appreciate it. My chairman, who had to step out for a few, Mrs. Tricia Williams Singh, or Energizer Bonnie. Or P.S., thank you, Dr. Troop. Always can count on you. Yeah, and she also takes calls. Just saying, she takes calls. Call her. Mr. Heaven, CEO, Chase. Mr. Sweeney, again, thank you, sir, for coming. Managing Director, Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF. Deputy Committee Representative for UNICEF, Mr. Mohammed Mahoudin. I noticed you really joined the line. So, you know, I had to put on the sneakers. I had to. My friend, Mr. Gillen, J.D. Tan, Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. Our keynote speaker, Mercedes Mayol LaSalle, World President for the World Organization for Early Childhood Education. Thank you for agreeing to being our keynote speaker. Anna Barbara, she's representing Dr. Julia, who is the General Director for the Inter-American Institute for Children and Adolescents of the Organization of American States, IINOAS. Archbishop Kenneth Richards, thank you, sir, for being with us this morning. Other partners, other friends of ECD and ECC. Our chairman said the best team in the public sector, and so thank you for being who you are always. It is my pleasure this morning to introduce our keynote speaker, Mercedes Mayol LaSalle. She's the world president of OMEP, World Organization for Early Childhood Education, since 2020, and elected member of the Coordinated Group of Collected Consultation of NGOs on Education 2030, CCNGO-ED 2030 to 2025. She's also a member of the board of the Global Campaign for Education. Please help me welcome our keynote speaker, we're going to ask her to join the line. She's joining the line.
Join the line. Hey, join the line. Join the line. Hey, join the line. Join the line. A child right to quality education. Now is the time. Join the line. Join the line. Hey, join the line. Join the line. A child right to quality education. Now is the time. Join the line.
I will need a glass of water also. Well, good morning, distinguished ladies, gentlemen, colleagues, I am so moved to be here. And first of all, I want to say something that impacted me. I knew your Minister of Education, Marshall Smith, in the meeting of Ministers of Education from the Caribbean and Latin America, and it was really the best. I do not say because you are here. You were advocating all the time for the importance of education, for free education, for investment in education, and that's what it was really relevant because not all the ministers of education of our region, our continent, are the same. Thank you so much. Well, of course, I want to thank to the members of the Early Childhood Commission, the executive director, now we are friends, Carlene Desland, Madame Nicole Morgan, and all the team that invited me to be part of this Professional Development Institute in this amazing country. I am gratified to have the opportunity to share with all of you these days of reflection, learning, and updating on early childhood education and care. I am coming from the city of Buenos Aires in Argentina. You know that we won the World Cup. And we have Messi, no? Located in the southmost area of the American continent, willing to share with you some of ideas on policies and pedagogy on early childhood education and care. I am aware that we have cultural differences. I assume that my ideas and my point of view are conditioned by my education, experience, and of course, because of my role as World President of the World Organization for Early Childhood Education, OMEP. The name OMEP comes from the French Organisation Mondiale pour l'Éducation Préscolaire, a very ancient organization that has 75 years, and it's born under the paradigm of human rights in the same year of the Declaration of Human Rights. I have a PowerPoint here. So I don't know if it will work. Yes. As Jerome Bruner affirmed, language is our most powerful tool for organizing experience and for constituting realities. Then I will speak as a past teacher, as a professor of a master's degree, as a world president, and I also let you know that my mother tongue is Spanish, so for me communicating in English is really stressing, but I will do my best. As you may know, OMEP is a global organization committed with early childhood, and it was founded in Prague in the first Congress held by UNESCO in 1948, and has a special consultative status in the United Nations system. We believe, as the UNESCO believed and the UN believes, that with science, with culture, with education, we can transform the world. OMEP is present in 74 countries in 5 regions, and this is one of them, and I am happy to be here with our Vice President of North America and the Caribbean. The early childhood, we celebrate the inclusion of Jamaica, the new committee based on the Early Childhood Commission, and I hope that their leadership will help us to organize more committees in the Caribbean area. OMEP action is based in 3 pillars. No, to the other side. Yes. 3 pillars: the human rights perspective, The commitments connected with the Education 2030 Framework to Action focus on SDG 4, and the commitment, of course, of the Tashkent Declaration of 2022, and the early childhood pedagogy. As the Italian pedagogue Franchi Favone said, the professionalism of an educator is made by 4 dimensions: political, social, psychological, and pedagogical. Today I am going to refer to the first 2 points, which are more political, although they are inseparable for our pedagogical decisions. I propose to go in deep in the analysis of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, because I learned as a university professor that many people talk about the Convention but do not have a deep analysis. So I will try to offer that. During the 20th centuries, there were many initiatives to promote the well-being and many philanthropies working on children and on common understanding of children's rights. In 1950, yes, the OMEP World President, Suzanne Herbinière-Lebert, said, "We want early childhood to have everywhere everything it needs, everything to which it is entitled, protection, but also education." Madame Herbinière-Lebert proposed a vision that went beyond public policies based in the needs of the children by appealing the recognition of the citizenship and enforceability of human rights. The UNCRC, the Convention, was the result of efforts that began long before their approval. It goes back to the 1923 Geneva Declaration, to the 2 declarations on the rights of the child of the United Nations, and when the Declaration of the Rights of the Child of 1959 has 20 years, the United Nations decided to adopt a new declaration, but different. An ethic declaration, of course, but a binding obligation, a tool, a treaty for really guarantee the rights of the child. So, in 1989, sorry, I am a little lost with, yes, with the, yes. The UNCRC was adopted, but by all the countries of the world. Only the United States has not endorsed it totally, and it is the most ratified human rights treaty in the history. It was not an easy process, and it took 10 years for governments, non-governmental organizations, human rights activists, educators, experts, to have a text, a common text. OMEP actively participating in drafting within the task force for the development of the Convention of the Rights of the Child, led by UNICEF. Sorry, I want to take some water. Well, as you may know, the UNCRC is the international treaty that allowed the recognition of the citizenship of children as right holders. From birth, gathering in one text all the civil, political, social, economic, and cultural rights. The CRC also sets out broad definition from the international rights framework, which establishes the obligations that state parties and communities must respect. All human rights must be understood in a holistic way. This implies that all the articles all the articles together make up the rights of the child. It is not possible to pick or choose one of the rights over the other, and it is important to note that when one of the rights is affected, usually all the rights are wounded. The UNCRC presents 4 articles that are their general principles: non-discrimination, the best interest of the child as primary consideration. One humanist from UNICEF said the paramount interest of the child. The paramount interest, the best interest of the child as the primary consideration in all action that concern children. The child's inherent right to life, and state parties' obligations to ensure to the maximum extent possible the survival and development of the child. And finally, the child's right to express his or her views in all the matters affecting the child. The UNCRC creates and organizes also a committee on the rights of the child that is in Switzerland, in Geneva, and which is the body of independent experts that oversees, monitors its implementation. Periodically, the committee produces general comments which assist the proper interpretation and application of children's rights and are a tool for energize and enrich the spirit and experience of the UNCRC. So in 2005, the committee published one of the main important, we need know it by heart, the general comment number 7, realization of children's rights in early childhood. Because in many cases, very little information had been offered by the governments about early childhood, with comments limited only to child mortality, birth registration that are, of course, important, but it is not the only right. So it was necessary to study its broader impact on young children. Our MEPS representatives were there also in this drafting process and approval. The purposes were to strengthen understanding of the human rights of all young children and the state's obligations. This is, I want to stress that with them. The comment, to comment the specific features of early childhood that impact on the realization of rights, to encourage recognition of young children as social actors with interests, capacities, vulnerabilities, of course, but also with strengths and requirements of protection, providence, and support. To draw attention to diversity within early childhood and different experiences of childhood that are shaping their development, to point the variations in cultural expectations and treatment of children, to emphasize the vulnerability of young children to poverty, to discrimination, to family breakdown, to multiple adversities that violate their rights and undermine their well-being, to orient the promotion of comprehensive policies and law programs, practices, professional training, and research especially focused on the rights of education. In this general comment, we find very important statements that can help to build programs, policies. The first one I said in the past minutes, young children are right holders. They are entitled to special protection measures in accordance to the evolving capacities and to the progressive exercise of the rights. The definition that they suggest about early childhood, the working definition is the period below the age of 8 years, and that state parties should review their obligations toward young children in the context of this definition. Also, state parties must construct a positive agenda for rights in early childhood, like in this country. I am so happy to know that you have so positive agenda for the rights of realizing the rights of since birth. And this is a critical period. We all agree on that. It is the faster period of growth and change during the human lifespan in terms of maturity in bodies, nervous systems, increasing mobility, communication skill, intellectual capacities, rapid shifts in their interests and abilities. Young children form strong emotional attachments to their parents, other caregivers, from whom they seek and require nurturance, care, guidance, protection in ways that are respectful of their individuality and growing capacities. Young children establish their own important relationships with their other children. Through this relationship, they learn to negotiate, to coordinate, share activities, resolve conflicts, keep agreements, and accept responsibilities for others. Young children actively make sense of the physical, social, and cultural dimensions of the world they inhabit, learning progressively from their activities and their interactions with others, children as well as adults. Earliest years are the foundation of the physical and mental health, emotional security, cultural and personal identity, and developing competencies. Young children's experience of growth and development vary according to their individual nature, as well as their gender, living conditions, family organization, care arrangement, and educational systems. Young children's experience of growth and development are powerfully shaped by cultural belief about the role in families and communities. And for this reason, we need to highlight the importance of supporting research in early childhood, especially and particularly the risk of malnutrition, disease, poverty, neglect, social exclusion, but not only research for transformation, for inform the public policies. Within the UNCRC principles that I mentioned earlier, participation is, of course, particularly important. Every child has the right to express his or her opinion freely in all matters affecting him or her, and to have it properly considered on its implications in their lives. This principle has enormous political and educational, pedagogical implications. The Committee of the Rights of the Child has affirmed that the respect of young children's agency is important to be seen in families, in communities, in societies, but it is frequently overlooked or rejected as inappropriate on the grounds of the age, immaturity, and other prejudice, I would say. In many countries of the region, the cultural traditions have emphasized young children's need for obedience, for training, for socialization, but in a narrow vision. Young children are considered undeveloped, lacking even basic capacities of understanding. They are powerless within our families, some families, and invisible with the society. And we lived that during the first months of pandemic. The first measures for protection of children were for grown-up children. We need to advocate for them. The right to be heard in early childhood exceeds the possibility for the child to express themselves through spoken language. In this sense, we can quickly realize the value of observation, and active listening to the child to learn to communicate, to protect his or her inherent rights. It is about having a green ear, according to the poet Gianni Rodari. A green ear is that knows how to interpret voices that the elderly do not get to hear. The voice of the tree, the stream, the cloud, and also the voices of that the children can understand without speaking. Listening to babies implies recognizing that they are full citizens, even if they do not have yet experiences of enough experiences or spoken language. Full citizenship from birth is compatible with that of any adult. It is based on their identity as a child. This argument also dispels the idea that he or she is a citizen of tomorrow, and that he or she will have more identity when adult. Without a doubt, she is a child, a citizen in a present time. In this regard, I don't know if I am going well. In this regard, state parties should promote an active involvement of parents, caregivers, teachers, communities in the creation of opportunities for all the children, and to progressively develop these skills they should strengthen. And the right of participation requires adults to adopt a child-centered attitude, listening to young children and respecting their dignity and their individual point of view. It also requires adults to show patience and creativity, because it is not easy to be with a young child. It is not easy. This is not an easy task. It needs efforts and adapting ourselves to their expectations, of young children's interests, levels for understanding, and preferred ways of communication. Therefore, the role of parents and other primary caregivers is crucial during early childhood. And for that reason, inside the General Comment number 7, you will find a chapter dedicated to parental responsibilities and assistance from the state parties. It's, the states, it states that this chapter, it states that the primary caregiver role is to offer appropriate direction and guidance in the exercise of the rights. This applies equally to younger or to older children. Babies and infants are entirely dependent on others, but they are not passive recipients of care, direction, and guidance. They are active social agents who seek protection, nurturance, and understanding for all of us. But due to the great economic and social inequalities and to the suffering that many families on the world go through, due to poverty, natural catastrophes, wars, and violence, migration, and other problems, state parties must render appropriate assistance to parents, guardians, and families in the performance of their child-rearing responsibilities, including assisting parents in providing living conditions for the child development and ensuring that children receive necessary protection and care. And this is very important because we are going through, in Latin America and the Caribbean, we are going through a deep crisis. You remember the report from the CEPAL. We are going through big problems and economic problems, and this impact in the well-being of the families and the possibilities to be, to orient the child and to raise the child. the realization. Okay. I have problems with my glasses. So, these are the parental responsibilities. So, well, I was a little late with the presentation. So, we need to provide adequate assistance to parents in the construction of comprehensive public policies and programs for early childhood. And I see that this is happening in this country. And that is why I think that you can leader all the process in the Caribbean and in Latin America and in the rest of Latin America also. These strategies are especially relevant when prioritizing vulnerable families and children at risk of development. However, most countries' services and programs are insufficient, fragmented, and uneven. Even if they depend on the government the areas are fragmented and uncoordinated. I remember when we work in the GPS, in the Global Partnership Strategy, one of the main issues is the working with all the governments and even the societies are working in silos. They are not working in coordination. So this really do not offer the possibility of quality early childhood education and care. It is urgent to develop multi-sectoral strategies as a starting point for service planning and provision. This is very important. So, one of the keys for achieving quality in the definition of program standards and to guarantee professional training of educators and carers is to emphasize that the work with young children should be socially valued and properly paid in order to attract a highly qualified workforce, men as well as women. Of course, I wrote 1 month ago, I published an article about feminization of the early childhood educators. And we need to include also men in this area. It is essential that they have empathy, that they should have empathy to be updated theoretically and practically and understand about children's rights and development, that they adopt appropriate child-centered care practices, curriculum, pedagogies, and that they have access to specialist professional resources and support, including a supervisory and monitoring system for public and private programs, institutions, and services. In addition, with this importance of social security and health and care, one of the conditions is the right to early childhood education. And it is extremely interesting to note that the committee interprets the right to education during early childhood as beginning at birth and closely linked to young children's right to maximum development. The concept of education is expanded. It is not identified with schooling. It is not identified with schooling. Therefore, education is defined as the enrichment and mobilization of a comprehensive and holistic development process. Parents and other caregivers, families, communities are the first educators of children. Therefore, state parties should work in partnership with them, including programs with active cooperation between families, professionals, and other actors. This concept also challenges caregivers and early childhood education educators of ECCE. services because it ratifies that education requires deep agreements with families and their active participation. And this is another thing that is difficult. We are human beings. You are crossed with, not only with thoughts, with passions and very strong ideas, I would say. So, an important key to defining this approach to ECC policies is the inclusion of the concept of educare in this General Comment number 7. And the committee says the traditional divisions between care service and educational service do not address the principle of the best interest of the child. And for this reason, the concept of educare involved the offer of integrated services and reinforces the recognition and application of coordinated and multi-sectoral approaches. This is the concept. With this concept, the committee closes an historical speculation or disagreements between the orientation of ECCE programs. In UNESCO, as UNESCO and OMEP, we are permanently repeating, education is a process that presents a special quality, as it is both a right and a tool that enables the enjoyment of other rights. We can therefore affirm that education is a social good and a right from which no one should be excluded, mainly because the right to education makes possible the realization of other rights and the full exercise of citizenship. The concept of education goes far beyond from formal schooling, as I had said, to embrace a broad range of life experiences and learning processes which enable children individually and collectively to develop their personality, talents, abilities to live a full and satisfying life within society. All the general comments of the Committee on the Rights of the Child contain implications for the definition of early childhood care and education policies, all. But I will say, I want to mention another one that is really a key. The General Comment 17 on the right of the child to rest, leisure, play, recreational activities, cultural life, and arts. Because of the implication of early childhood development and well-being, play and recreation are essential to the health and well-being of children and promote the development of creativity, imagination, self-confidence, self-efficacy, as well as physical, social, cognitive, and emotional strengths and skills. They contribute to all aspects of learning. They are a form of participation in everyday life and are of intrinsic value to the children, purely in terms of the enjoyment and pleasure they afford. That is important also. This general comment reveals the importance of the right to culture. It is impossible to develop a human being without the connection, the interaction with culture. So culture is a right. We need to distribute this richness of our culture to all children. Addressing cultural literacy within early childhood education differentiated the idea of informing academic content, proposing that it is about activating process of humanization, offering children cultural tools and help him to organize the world, to live in society, to build citizenship, to use mother tongue, and then learn other languages, including the artistic languages, as our minister said before. So, this general comment, the general comment 17, it is so important because also address the conditions in favor of access to the right to rest, leisure, play, recreational activities, as well as they address the problems that challenge the public policies. For example, the lack of recognition of play and recreation. Because you know that in our pedagogy in Latin America and the Caribbean, there are many, many things that comes from the evaluation of at the simple task, things very rigid that comes from the past primary school. So we are challenged. We are challenged with this, but we are socially challenged also because there are unsafe and environments, crowded cities, uncontrolled traffic. The children has lost public space. The increasing erosion of many spaces traditionally available to children creates a need for greater government interventions to protect the rights under this Article 31, the right to culture and play. And this reminds me another Italian pedagogue. I am today with this in my mind, that he drew a cartoon, and it was a little child that was addressing to the mayor, and he said, "We do not want the park, we want the city." So this is so important. Finally, I will share some ideas about the General Comment 25 because it is in relation with the digital environment. And all these recommendations are of great interest, especially in these times. Some families and children have connectivity, but there are large majorities that cannot access them. And there are also children exposed without control and guidance to cell phones and other devices. I was impressed in the plane with a little child that was seated on my side. She was 18 months, and she managed the telephone and the screen of the seat better than me. So it was, and I thought, well, in the past, I remember that I traveled with my daughter with books and toys. But well, nowadays we have that. So we need to orient families and educators require guidance and training for the youth, and undoubtedly pedagogical development, research and policies are needed. So the states, the ministers of education should ensure that the promotion of opportunities for culture, leisure and play in the digital environment is balanced with another alternatives for children. In this legal framework, the convention and all the general comments are crossed with the 2030 agenda. Yesterday, I was having an informal chat with my vice president of North America and the Caribbean, and she said most of the educators do not know, most of the parents do not know what is the 2030 education agenda and what is the agenda of the Sustainable Development Goals. But they are instruments, tools, in order to comply with the legal frameworks. The legal frameworks are there are only words, but we need public policies, we need commitment, we need action of the governments in order to fulfill all these intentions. And well, we have a lot of targets and SDG, and there are 48 targets that are deemed to be highly relevant to children under the goals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 16. And on the SDG 4, the states undertake to ensure inclusive, equitable, and quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. And inside this big SDG, we have the target 4.2. We advocate a lot some years ago to have this target that said that by 2030, state will ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development, care, and pre-primary education, so they are ready for primary school education. So, in this, the problem we have is that we know that we will not achieve all the agenda of development. We have had a pandemic, we have wars in the world, and we have a huge economic crisis in many countries, so it will be difficult. So we need to redouble the efforts in order to achieve all these intentions. If we focus on the availability and accessibility of early childhood education and care centers, reality shows us an extreme scarce supply and a slow and fragmented and uneven growth despite their benefits. Kindergartens and preschools all over the world are often part of the structure of the educational system. It is evident that accessibility to ECC institutions is progressively offered to younger children, and that enrollment has increased, especially for the ages of 4 to 6. But, however, according to the recent UNESCO study, only 1 on 2 children in the world, because we are crossed by huge inequalities, attend preschool 1 year before entering primary school. However, the public and free offer for children between 0 to 3 is still scarce, and as a private offer is greater, access is strongly conditioned by the possibility of the families to pay. And this transforms a right in a privilege. Yes? It's transformed the right in a privilege. On the other hand, the supply of welfare institutions is also not sufficient to meet demands. Availability is crossed by fragmentation, inequalities, as well as diversity of the ways of naming the process. You know, there is no one name in all Latin America and the Caribbean to define this level. Early childhood education is a field of ideological struggle, and politicians, stakeholders, educators, families, and communities are diverse, and of course, all have their logics and discourses regarding what should be done. Unfortunately, many of the policies developed do not guarantee justice and equality for children. It is unfair that a large section of children should not receive basic care linked to their survival and physical protection. Nor we can, there are poor institutions for poor, or poor programs for poor child. So in one side, and the other problem is the overschooling in early childhood. These have generated the loss of play, disciplinary teaching, evaluation practices focus on the control of results and institutional effectiveness. So, while acknowledging the progress made since the adoption of the CLC, it is necessary to reorient and strengthen legal framework, public policies, and pedagogies for ECCE from the human rights paradigm, taking the spirit and regulations emanating from this important human rights treaty. In November 2022, 2002, in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan, near 2,600 people gathered there from governments, civil society organizations, teachers' unions, private sector, and it was the second World Conference on ECC. And this first global education event was organized in the same way of the Transforming Education Summit of the United Nations. I would say to transform ECC and to make ECC transformative. I had the honor to be part of the drafting group team of the Declaration and Commitments to Action for Transforming Early Childhood Education and Care. These are the guiding principles and strategies for the urgent transformation of ECC under the paradigm of human rights, equitable and inclusive quality and ECC services for all. How I am with the time? Yes? Well, you are bored. I am with a lot of enthusiasm, but so this is one of the principles, the basis, the guiding principles of this declaration. And this means that we need to improve the relevance and quality of ECC curricula, pedagogy, ensure equitable and inclusive services for our children, prioritizing, of course, the most vulnerable, but thinking that the rights are universal. Ensure that children receive nurturing care, monitoring and evaluating, strengthen education in peace, in sustainable development goals, education in early childhood. The other principle is ECC personnel. It is a key principle because we need to strengthen the education and training of systems of ECC personnel, not only teachers, not only professionals, but also caregivers, people that are working in the field with communities. All the people that are connected with early childhood should be educated and trained. So I celebrate this meeting, really. To regulate the ECC personnel in non-state actors, many of the educators of the world lost their jobs during the pandemic because many services have closed. The other is innovation and advancing transformation to harness scientific evidence. We need to be allied with the universities. We need to be allied with the research in order to support our pedagogy in scientific evidence. Make access to digital technology equitable, inclusive, non-intrusive, secure, ethical, and ensure the protection of children's rights inside the digital environment. And of course, we need to change some things connected with policy, governance, and finance, and it is needed to ensure that the whole government has a multi-sectoral and integrated approach to ECC policies and development and provision. So this is another thing that really I am admiring from the decisions that have made the government inside Jamaica. My final words. Finally, the debt to early childhood is undeniable. We have a debt with early childhood. We have a debt in protecting and promoting their rights. Many children in the world do not have access to quality education and care. It is essential that the state, stakeholders, societies develop strong policies to ECC with new legal and political frameworks, implementing adequate pedagogical approaches and effective actions for social, cultural, and political inclusion of children as right holders. In order to build a fair and peaceful and democratic world, all society must heed the ethical call of human rights. That is ethical, but it is also binding obligation of states and of all of us, demanding the states and the communities to fulfill commitments. But at the same time, all communities have to hold the responsibility of the rights, life, well-being, and happiness of every child. I will conclude my presentation remembering Bob Marley with a little change. Get up, stand up for child's rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Thank you so much.
Get up, stand up for your right. Someone knows and listening, not sure. Get up, stand up. All right, so help me sing then now. After 2, 1, 2, ready, go.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for child rights.
Get
up, stand up.
Come on, what you do?
Don't give up the fight.
I like that. Come on, get
up, stand up.
Stand up for child rights. Get up, stand up.
Don't give up the fight.
Not at all, not give it up at all. Look here, where you come and know Jamaican song? Where you come knowing that? You're international, Bob Marley international. So you just put that, look here, say early child will go on good. The lady just twist up the song. You don't know if I call the name yet, but me I said, the lady, she just put it to her own little spin and added the whole child right in it. Clap her, man. So I want to give thanks to Mrs. Mercedes Mayal Lasala. I hope I pronounce your name properly. She did an awesome presentation, and I hope you did take your notes. Now, two things I wrote down. She said every child has a right to express themselves. And here at the Early Child Commission, we pride ourselves on our activity plans, right? And there we talk about the domains of learning. And what are the domains of learning? Let me hear you. Cognitive development, come on, what else? Psychomotor, and the last one, the affective. And affective speak to what? Mighty God, and children expressing themselves. So you say early child would have gone with things. ECC, I want to die. We are going with things. We are big deal. Look here, we now drop off a shape. Look how far Miss Lascelles come from. And she's speaking the same thing that we are speaking here in Jamdong, that children need to express themselves. Thank you very much. And also, she said, it's not easy to take care of our children. It's never easy. We are there for them emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and guess what? All financially too. So all the alleys, right, Mr. Jones? We're there. We're early child. Clap, man, clap. Yeah, clap on yourself. Thank you very much, Mrs. LaSalle. Mr. Jones, what go and talk to me now?
The way you want me to say.
Everything.
All right, I join you in saying thanks to our guest speaker. Thank you so much for just centering us and reminding us that we're not alone in this fight, but also in this quest. that it's a worldwide quest, and together we work to make it happen. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom and for reminding us of that. And ladies and gentlemen, it is at this time that it is our greatest joy to declare the PDI 2024 open. Could you just put your hands together for PDI 2024? I want to take the opportunity to remind those of you who are watching on the ECC's YouTube channel that yes, the opening ceremony is being aired. The closing ceremony will be aired, but also track 1 will be aired throughout the week. And of course, today's track 1 is so timely. I got excited when I saw it when we had our meeting last week. We're talking about the resolving conflict and building school safety through a lens of restorative justice. And we see what's happening in our own society and worldwide, and it's frightening, is it not?
Yeah.
It is frightening. And so I said last week when we met with the team, I was like, ECC, now wait. We're not waiting until it has impacted us. We're stemming it right there. And so we're looking forward to our Director of Safety and Security in the Ministry of Education and Youth, Mr. Troop, Mr. Richard Troop, who is going to be facilitating that session. And I'm going to find out if we come back later, because we're talking about the Jenna Lee Robinson, the Kamisha Swabes, the Corrine Francis, Dr. Warren Thompson from CPFSA, and Mr. Patrick Earl. Arts has to be included in that process. And that sounds exciting. Teachers, so those of you who are at home, we invite you, please ensure that you charge your phones if you have to be somewhere else, but try and ensure that you are in that session, because we are talking about strategies and we're going to work that out together. And I know Mr. Troop from Hope for Children. That's where we met when I just left Teachers College. Dr. Troop, oh my, come back full circle. We left Teachers College knowing that we come from Portland, but guess what? We're going to have to work together to help children who are experiencing violence in their spaces, and it was impacting them. And I was trained by him and Venice and the team in terms of how, as a new teacher at 18 years old, before I go into the classroom, how to work with children who are experiencing. It was a little daunting in the training, but let's listen, it has really helped me as an educator over 22 years, and I'm really, really excited. So I'm looking forward to that session this afternoon. We all don't know it. We're going to help each other along. And believe me, what your strategies are will help somebody else. And so that's how we work together in that regard. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take this opportunity to say great thanks to all those who shared with us today. We'd like to take the opportunity to say thanks to the State Minister in the Ministry of Education and Youth, the Honorable Marsha Smith. Could we put our hands together?
Dr. Casson Troop, Permanent Secretary. Thank you.
Of course, none other than Mrs. Tricia Williams-Singh, the Chairman of the Early Childhood Commission.
Dr. Carlene DeGrasse Deslandes, ECC Executive Director.
Mr. Wilford Billy Heaven of the Chase Fund.
Managing Director of JSIF, Mr. Omar Sweeney.
UNICEF Jamaica Deputy Country Representative, Mr. Mohammed Mohidin.
Chairman, Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network, JD Tan, Mr. Leo Gilling.
Secretary to the Director General of the Inter-American Institute of Children and Adolescents of the Organization of American States, Ms. Anna Barrera.
Chairman of the Barita Foundation, Tankita Chance Wilson.
I want to pause right at Barita before we even thank somebody else, because Barita came on board and ensured that some of our teachers are here. They paid for them to be here.
Clap them!
This week.
That's right.
So we want to big up Barita big time for coming on board, not just giving, but specifying that, guess what, we want more teachers to be at the PDI. So we thank you so much, Barita, for that. We would like to take this opportunity to thank ZEP Products Limited, the Central Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I got excited when I saw that. Because the church only if we pray.
Yes, sir.
Not only, I wanted, that's the Central Jamaica Conference. I think they are also ensuring that the teachers from the Central region got up here and are able to participate. And so we want to thank the Central Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists for their contribution.
Starlight Production.
All of our participants, the early childhood team members, are they here? Well, they're all over walking up and down, putting on their shoes. They did not sleep yet because them up from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They not sleep till about next week Thursday. I'm sure Dr. Deslanders will give them a day off. Praise.
That'll be good.
Okay, all right. We'd like to take this opportunity to say thanks to Mrs. Carol Williams, our interpreter. Well, she's not in this room, but she is in another room, and though we'll see her there, there's Miss Carol Williams and the team and the interpreters, because that's the other interpreter. They're all there and ensuring that those who are online are able to see what's happening and understand and participate and just as much, and we are really appreciative for them in that regard. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to open the exhibits that are on the outside, and everyone will be able to go and see and participate, and they have things for you. And all of these agencies have come on board to ensure, well, they all are a part of the ECC in some way or another. But of course, at this time, we're going to be asking the executive team to be escorted by follow the leader, follow the leader, because she is going to be our wonderful co-host, is going to stand right down there. And then, of course, we're going to join the line. And as you hear your names, you're part of the executive team. You join the line with our co-host right then and there. And then you're going to go together. And then she's going to take you to those booths for the next 15 minutes. And then teachers, colleagues, and participants, you're able to join thereafter. Before we do that, I'd like to identify all the male practitioners who are here, the male teachers. Could you just kindly stand if you're here? All of our male practitioners. Don't hide, man. Stand up like we see, you know. So one over there. Where the rest? 2. Last year we have about 5 or 6. I see one up there. 2. Am I missing anybody else? Starlight, Light, Bright. Now we want to acknowledge them and celebrate them. We want to celebrate them because someone mentioned, I think it was Minister who mentioned it about not forgetting our boys, but our boys need male examples. And so at the beginning, we want to ensure that we have good male examples in those classrooms. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. We celebrate you, and we hope that others will join in time. Of course, so join the line. Join the line. Wait a beat. They wouldn't have to give me a beat. Join the line. Join the line. Now, Charles, right up. I don't know if you got it already. Charles? Yeah, come on. Join the. Charles, right up. Join the. Continue. Mrs. Deslanders. Mr. Billy Heaven, join the line. Mr. Sweeney. Come on, join the. Mr. Mohideen. Join the line. Mr. Gillen. When I hear you, come on. Hey, join Mrs. Chance Wilson. As you hear your name, just join the line. Mrs. Marsha Smith. All right, the line. Oh, she in the line already. All right. Dr. Troop. Keep the rhythm going, man. They're going to join. Dr. Troop, you're next. Yeah. Come on, join the line. Join the line. Oh, join the line. Join the line. And Mrs. Deslanders, I know you don't want to join the line, but you're going to join the line. Dr. D. Dr. D, Dr. D, Dr. D, Dr. D in the picture, Dr. D. Yeah, she will hide from every picture. Come, let's get her in the picture. Get right in the picture, Dr. D. Yes, that's it. Right. Join the, oh, I need to be out of the picture. Yeah, join the line. 1. Dr. B, right there. You can put the dub poetry right in there, the camera, and I'll catch the dub poetry. Join the line. Join the line. Right to education. Well, everybody should be dancing like, and let's see how that cat go in the picture. All right, so Mrs. D, just take them that way, please. Ladies and gentlemen, just go with Mrs. Deslandes on that side. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Join the line. Join the line. A child's right to quality education. Now is the join the line. Join the line. A child's right to quality. Can I hear you? Join the line. A child's right to quality education. Now is the join the line. Join the line. A child's right to quality education. Now is the all right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been our pleasure serving with you this morning. As soon as once the team goes out, you're also free to go. You'll be able to have your lunch, and then we'll be able to come back for the plenary session this afternoon. Do have a wonderful rest of the day and a wonderful rest of the week, PDI 2024. God bless you.
You better run for your TV and win.